Everyone, I have something special. I have reached 200,000 subscribers on YouTube, well surpassing 100,000, which is already crazy enough, and 100,000 on Instagram. And I have the special play button, which I will unveil today. I'm Ariel, this is Urbanist. Let me know where you're watching from as I unbox the special prize that commemorates more than 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Instagram doesn't have anything for this, but we'll consider Instagram with this as well. Ooh, so excited. But I also have some beer too from Belgium in order to celebrate. So let's open up this box, drink some beer, chat a little bit. I'm Ariel, this is Urbanist, and happy Thanksgiving too. I'm very grateful for all of you tuning in and watching these videos. Now let me put down the music a little bit. That's City of Desire from the Urbanist original soundtrack. If you haven't listened to the Urbanist original soundtrack, go to Urbanist right now on Spotify and you will find it. Hello everyone, let me know where you're watching from. We got a lot of people tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I'm going live also on Instagram, but if you want to see the main version, go to YouTube, Urbanist Exploring Cities. Now, I have had a huge milestone. I've surpassed 200,000 on YouTube. Hence, that's why I end up getting a silver play button. This happens when you pass 100K. But crazy thing is, I passed 100K 1 week ago. And in just 1 week, I gained 100,000 subscribers. Kind of mind-blowing. And then I also surpassed 100K on Instagram, which is, it just blows my mind. I never thought I would get big on Instagram. I thought Instagram was out of the question for me. People like my photos, but my photos never got that much love on Instagram. They got love on Facebook, they got love on the prints that I sold to people who also watch on YouTube, but they didn't get love on Instagram too much. So it's awesome to see an audience grow on Instagram because of my reels. Now, I recently also partnered up with a amazing app called Discotheque. So right now, if you can do me a big favor, if you're really enjoying this show, on occasion I work with sponsors in order to pay for this show, in order to show you cool places around the world, around New York City, in order to get access to these different places, in order to edit these short videos. Usually I'm filming for like an hour or two and condensing it to 1 minute or less so you can have a really action-packed experience. I use sponsors on occasion in order to pay some of those bills. So if you want to check out a really cool app, it's a great app for finding out nightlife. Check out the video I just did, a short video. It's been posted on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Find it there, and TikTok, Ariel Vera. Find it there, give it a like, give it a comment. Do me a favor, if you can do it right now, leave a nice comment about this app. And then download the app. It's actually a really great app. The reason I do very few sponsorships, they're not sponsoring this particular video, but the reason I do very few sponsorships is because I'm very, very picky, like extremely picky with my sponsors. I could do a lot more, and there are definitely other people in the YouTube world, Instagram world that do sponsorships almost a few times a week. I don't do that often because I'm very picky. I like picking things that I would use specifically. So when you do see it pop up, it's something you know that I would be using, and I know that many of you would use, and it would be helpful for you. Okay, so that said, I'm so excited. Hey everyone, we got a lot of people tuning in. Wow. Well, let me say hello to a few people before we get on with the show. Tom says, can you do Williamsburg Savings Bank? I will look into it. That is an awesome building. It's actually a private venue right now. I can reach out to the venue. That is a good suggestion. Thank you so much. Hello, Steve from Long Island. Ooh, nice to see you here. Hello, Jerome from Sacramento, California. Nice to see you here. Genevieve from Trinidad. Rose, nice to see you here. Welcome. And Laureen says, congratulations. Sharon says, it was November of 2020 that I found out about you on YouTube. You know, 2020 was a very interesting time. I know it was a really tough time for many people. A lot of people during that time were seeking entertainment. So 2020 was the year that I was able to really start making a living off being an entertainer, a content creator, a filmmaker. Um, and that was a great privilege and a great honor that I not a day goes by where I don't take it for granted. I am absolutely grateful that I have people tuning in, that my entertainment brings value to people, and that value can range between so many different things. It could be people who might be mobilely impaired and can't actually get around these places. People who want to travel to New York or to any other place that I might be featuring. People who might not know about cities like Lyon or Chamonix or Harlem or Utrecht that I covered before and kind of shows them new places to visit. And I know there are people out there who basically use me to not spend money paying for baggage in airplane. People who actually don't want to go through the hassle of traveling. And I get that. Some people out there are like that. That's cool. I'm glad I can be your gateway to the world. And I do travel slowly, so I'm here in New York for a few months. So I'm happy to be your gateway to New York these few months during the holiday season. 2020 is when I found you as well, says Sylvia. Ben says, haha. Janet says, I loved you for your travels in Ireland. Ibrahim says, yes, I subscribed to you in 2021 because I was seeking entertainment. Oh, that's so cool to hear. LSF says, happy Thanksgiving for Virginia Beach. Oh, thank you so much. Hello, Susie. New York City Photo says, what's your next milestone? I would love to cross 1 million on TikTok. And it would be cool to cross 1 million on YouTube specifically. That would be of the highest honor. I think it's cool that I already have 200,000. I think once I start crossing about 500K, I can really provide you with a really high budget show, which I want to do. I want to, if you saw my live videos about Chamonix, I want to go to places more exotic and show you live videos with a really great quality camera. And I want to bring you more vlogs also. I want to, in essence, bring you a TV show that you can watch on YouTube and other social media platforms. And there'll be shorts versions of it and a live version of it. But I want to show you something really like interesting in that regard. New York City Photos says I'm close to 600K. Hey, congratulations, New York City Photos. I've noticed I'll have a lot more bigger YouTubers following me and bigger Instagram. So thank you so much also for the big Instagrammers out there following me. Before I start drinking, before I start opening this up, love the jazzy background. Yeah, that's Urbanist exploring cities. I'm gonna take a sip of this beer, West Mao, from Belgium. And if you saw my Belgium episodes, I dearly loved Belgium. Belgium was truly a wonderful place to visit, and I want to go back. That's why it's awesome. It's an honor to have more subscribers because I can show you Belgium again soon, and hopefully more videos and more cooler videos of Belgium. And with a bigger audience, I could get access to really cool places that I was unable to do so before because a bigger audience means more recognition. So some venues seek out people with bigger numbers, otherwise they will completely disregard someone with a smaller number. So it does have its benefits. So that's cool. Maybe I can go back to Belgium and actually show you how these beers are made. These are Trappist beers. This is West Mao. So let me open this up. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. I'm using my Guinness. I know this might be blasphemous for some beer purists out there, especially from Belgium. You have to put in their own glass, but I don't have the West Mile glass, so I'm using the Guinness glass that I got in Ireland. And I would love to go to Ireland back again. When will you be visiting Europe again? B. Chris, I want to do so soon. Holidays in New York, people love it. So I am dedicating to holidays in New York. This is a terrible pour if this was Ireland or America, but this is a relatively normal pour in Belgium. Belgium, this is normal. They actually pour, they give you a lot of head when you're in Belgium. Yeah, you get a lot of head in Belgium. It's nice. It's very nice. Sometimes all that head, that they give you, it kind of gets a bit tiring, but there's nothing like a good Belgian beer. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. That's good. Wow. Cheers, everyone. To 200K, 100K on Instagram, to the already 500K on TikTok, to the 142K on Facebook. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being such a kind, wonderful audience, inquisitive, curious, filled with great stories. I have a lot of people out there who have excellent humor as well. I'm glad people out there appreciate good humor. That I think that's very important in our lives, is to really take it easy, be lighthearted about life. And Urbanist is not just a show about history, or my own account on TikTok. It's not just a show about history or architecture or cities or travel. But beyond that, it's a show about lighthearted curiosity. That is my goal with any type of entertainment I do. I just want to make you curious, but in a lighthearted way. We don't need to take things so seriously. It's okay. It's okay to chill out, enjoy life, learn about interesting things out there in the world. Cheers. This is too easy to drink. I should have got another one. Wow. All right. Let's open it up. Let me know where you're watching from, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to need a cool song for this. What Urbanist song would you want me to play for the unboxing? Let me know. What do you think? I'll put this up to a vote. For people who really love the Urbanist soundtracks, let me know, what do you want to see? I'll show you. Those are the Urbanist songs I have. The albums. Playing Midnight Metropolis right now. Susie says, Cloak of Faith. Okay. Let's see what more people says. Robert says the original theme song. Okay. Bob says, good jokes and plenty of head. Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about having a good beer. Nah. Great suggestion with the original theme song. We need something kind of a little bit more balanced. Really digging the 80s synth, says Amy. Yeah, it's great 80s synth. That is Midnight Metropolis. That's the name of the song. This is a great song. I gotta make a different version of the original theme song. Let's play Cloak of Faith. Let's see. Wait, you do music too, says Ben? Yeah. Yeah, I've produced 4 albums. 3 LPs, 1 EP. Yeah. Yeah, I think Susie hit the nail on the head. Cloak of Faith is amazing. Cloak of Faith is from the Afterworld album. So search Afterworld by Urbanist. And Mater says, Courier Dreams. Courier Dreams is beautiful. I'll play that a little bit later. That's a great suggestion as well. B. Chris says, what makes you really happy? providing good entertainment. That's what makes me happy. Ever since I was little, I loved telling people good stories. I love stories. I love exploration. I love cities. Gotta make sure there's no pertinent information here. Okay, cool. Oh, here's the notice, the letter. Oh wow. I've been doing this for 6 years. 6 years, ladies and gentlemen. 2016, I was listening to a song similar to this one. This is my original one, but I love the synthwave genre. And I was taking a train home, and I was a little bit frustrated in my job. And I thought to myself, I want to make videos online that that are not about making people think. They're not about so much about tickling the mind, but more so I wanted to make videos that touch people's hearts. I'm not sure if I touched hearts. I've heard that I've touched hearts before. Some people have told me that before, in person and in online. So I know it has worked with some people. And that's what I wanted to do. And I listened to that song and I made an intention that I wanted to touch people's hearts. And wow. So this is 6 years in the making. Six years in the making. The silver play button right here. Woo! It's surprisingly light. It's surprisingly light. It is shiny though. Oh, you can see my entire room with it. It is shiny. I like that. Ooh. Let's show you the other way around. Let's flip, shall we? Wow. That's... Oh my god. Presented to Urbanist Exploring Cities for passing 100K. That is amazing. Wow. That's the backside. It's to hang. You can hang it up. Oh, that's so cool. Wow. That's awesome. That's cool. Wow. Some people are going to think I'm an overnight success because my short videos have been going viral. But the reason my short videos have been going viral is because I practice storytelling for 6 years. Live video was the perfect, and still continues to be, in my opinion, the perfect way to practice storytelling. Long form, no edits, no cuts. If you flub, you flub. You just gotta go with the flow and tell the best story you can on live video. And that was a great practicing ground because through live video and then through the vlogs I was doing on my own as well, I ended up practicing the fine art of storytelling. And there I was able to take those 10-minute, 20-minute stories and find a way to tell them in a minute or less. And of course, because of TikTok for the past 2 years, I've been editing a lot. I found a way to edit them the best way possible. So it is live video that got me here. And it might seem like I'm an overnight success if you see me just now, recently. But I'm an overnight success that has been working for 6 years. And then I've been on social media for nearly 12 to 13 years at this point. 2009 is when I started on social media because I was a Tumblr blogger for 6 years as well. So that's cool. Thank you, everyone, for helping me reach this milestone with your subs. I really appreciate that. It's cool. That's how the screen looks. I'm using 2 cameras right now. And S Field says I look like a Jedi. I am. Yes, I do look like a Jedi. This is rather Jedi attire. Yeah. Let me play a different song. Play some jazz. Bear with me, I'm changing songs. Yeah, I look like a Jedi. This is from a company called Koss, which is Scandinavian style. It's from Sweden. They're owned by H&M, but yeah, they do kind of Swedish style clothing. So yeah, this is Scandinavian, but indeed the Jedis have, the father of Luke Skywalker in the film has something similar to this. Wow. Okay, so let me read the letter. So the letter says, do you remember your first subscriber? Your 100th? I do remember my first subscriber. Well, a few of the firsts. So if we can give a shout out, and there's a few others. If you are among the firsts, do let me know. But there's Kay, Dolores, Cheryl, Debbie, Susie, and there's a few others. So shout out to those guys. Give a round of hearts. Or your 1000th subscriber. Chances 1,000th, yeah, 1,000th on YouTube at least. There was like Ron, B. Chris. I think you were tuning in around that time. Chris as well. Chris Bates, Joe, Mater as well. Well, Mater Raynette has been tuning in for a while as well. So she's among maybe the first 1,000 on Facebook, or first like 5 or 10,000 on Facebook. So it says, chances are you do, and you'll definitely remember your 100,000 subscriber. Your fans may have found you while searching YouTube, learned about you through a friend, or maybe showed up as a recommended video. No matter how they came to your channel, fans stayed and their numbers increased because of your new unique voice and the excitement of being a part of a growing community that you established. We are thrilled to see the development of your community and are proud to honor your impressive milestone of reaching 100,000 subscribers with the silver creator button. Congratulations. We know that you have many more stories to share with your community, and we know that your fans can't wait for you to engage and amaze even more with your commitment and creativity. So keep creating, keep building. We can't wait to see what you do next, and we're here to support you along the way. And who knows, when you reach your 1,000,000th subscriber, we may just write to you and ask, do you remember your 100,000 subscriber? Yours sincerely, Susan Wojcicki. I'm not sure how to pronounce the CEO of YouTube's. I gotta learn her name. But yeah, thank you so much, Susan, CEO of YouTube. I find it funny a little bit because they say keep creating, keep building. Yeah, of course. YouTube wants more money. They got a lot of ad money, but that's awesome. Thank you so much for the sentiment. There's something a little here. It's like an email. I don't want to show the email, but there's a little card over here. It says, "Congratulations on your subscriber milestone. We are honored to take part in recognizing your achievement and want your experience to be exceptional. This award was inspected by and packaged with great care by Rick." All right, thank you, Rick. Everyone, roll their hearts to Rick, the random guy who packaged this. Thank you so much, Rick, for packaging this with great care and great responsibility. Ooh, wow! This beer is truly amazing. I will get to your comments soon. Let me see what the final thing here. Someone asked me where would I hang it. I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of trying to find a new apartment, so I'm not sure yet. Whenever I have my official new apartment. Recognize your team. Share the recognition by allowing your team to purchase a personalized creator award. I'm not sure the email, but that's cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. I don't have a full-time team yet, but I want to give a huge shout out to 3 people who've helped me get here. A lot of people have helped me to get here. There's a very long list. And certainly there's the actual platforms. A lot of people don't realize that these platforms are built by people and gigantic teams. Unfortunately, there's a lot of layoffs happening now. So my heart goes out to anyone who's been laid off. I've been there as well. But shout out to the teams at YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the people who built those live video platforms, and then the short video platforms, TikTok as well. But more specifically, more recently, I want to give a round of hearts to Liz, who helped me write the skeleton of the guide. It's helping me write a few extra videos coming up. So Liz, we have Maria from Greece. We have a few Marias from Greece, but there was one specific Maria Querido, who has who has edited a lot of the short videos you've seen that are pulled from my longer live videos, and she edited the Mafia vlog as well. So round of hearts to Maria, and then round of hearts to Giovanna. Giovanna has edited the food shorts, some of the food shorts I've done, where she was featured as well. She's been appearing on camera for those as well. So she's helped me shoot and edit those videos. So shout out to Liz, Maria, and G. She calls herself G. So Liz, Maria, and G. And you also met Maria on my video in Thessaloniki, very briefly. You haven't met Liz yet, but maybe I'll have her on the show sometime soon. So that's awesome. Cool. Yeah. What's the beer? I'm drinking West Mal. West Mal. West Mal. West Mal. The double Trappist beer. Cool. Oh, all right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching that unboxing. That was the unboxing. Now, feel free to ask me any questions that you are curious about. I love Kay. She's always so supportive. She is indeed. She's a great moderator on all platforms, but she helps a lot on Facebook. So, shout out to Kay. And then there's a lot of viewers. I have a huge list of mega urbanists as well. So there's Patrick, Susie, Laureen, Deborah, Tristan, David O'Brien, AR, Mater, Rayannette. There's a long list of mega urbanists as well that are helping out. Inspire Life tuning in right now as well. And then moderators. The moderators are very important to keeping the good vibes on the channel. You know, shorts is a great format. I love shorts, but shorts is not really great for building community. There really isn't a community on shorts, but there is a community on live video. That's why I love live video. It's not just an adventure with me, but it's also a chat room for people who love these adventures. So we have to give a shout out to the moderators like Kay and Joe on Facebook, Susan on Twitch, and then a lot of people here on YouTube: S. Fields, Roy, Ronald, Arnell, Bernard, B. Griffin. Do let me know who else is tuning in right now. We got plenty of them. I hear YouTube is going to monetize shorts in Jan 1st. Yeah, YouTube is going to start allowing people to join the shorts platform for monetization on January 1st, but monetization starts on February 1st officially. Will you have your t-shirts with the Urbanist logo? Asked Tina. Yeah, new merch will be coming out. Pro tip, I've been very busy. I've also been writing a guide. So right now, write ! guide on the YouTube comments and it'll pop up. But I've been writing a guide that is now available for pre-order, $29.99. I've gotten a lot of people buy the guide, give me some great feedback saying that they love the restaurant recommendations. That some people have told me that they're invaluable because I thought there was a lot of thought that came into my restaurant recommendations on my guide. If you're watching on Instagram or any other platform, go to the link in my bio or go to urbanist.live/guide. Urbanist.live/guide. And this guide, when it comes to my restaurant and coffee recommendations and drink as well, I don't want you to walk too much. I made the guide to be the most convenient list of recommendations for you while also telling you about really cool places. And I've only been able to get that information through 6 years of making videos about New York and being a lifetime New Yorker. And that's why my suggestions are very highly curated. I'm not just throwing places out there. I'm taking into consideration every suggestion you see on that guide. It's taking into consideration its proximity to places you would be as a tourist. This is for tourists. A few people have messaged me saying, "Oh, why are you recommending this place? It's so typical." Like, yeah, it's typical for you as a New Yorker. It's not typical for a tourist coming from Europe. You know, if I'm in London, if I am American visiting London, I want to go to a pub. I want to go to that awesome place nearby the British Museum. So that's a lot of thought went into this guide. So that said, I have not phased out fully my merch. So go to teespring.com/stores/urbanist. If you still want to buy some merch, old school volume 1 merch from Urbanist, but there will be new merch soon. Susie says Bushwick is off the beaten path. Some tourists like that. Yes, there are off the beaten path recommendations though. But I do make it as easy as possible for you to get to those places, how to get there by train, and also what are the best places to eat that are within walking distance. I'm not going to make you walk like crazy. Jordan, hey Jordan, nice to see you here. If I was interviewing you, I'd spend a good section of the interview on style. I enjoy style myself. How do you describe your style? I am kind of going through exploration of style. So, hey, Dutch Moss, nice to see you here. That's a great question. A lot of people do ask me where my clothes comes from, or watch, for example, or glasses. So I appreciate everyone curious about my style and curious about what I wear. That's awesome to hear. I love clothes. I've made a full documentary about fashion, so you should check it out. Highly recommend it. Search fashion urbanist, you'll see it, or go to the Rise New York exhibition and watch my fashion documentary there with Tim Gunn. My style used to be very bright, colorful, and casual. That was my style before. But I'm kind of going through a change. I love Hawaiian shirts and those floral shirts, but I kind of want to move into a style that people will compliment me for me rather than how the shirt looks. So that is a fine line when you're doing fashion. Especially here in New York, you see people who are wearing something outlandish, and people compliment, "Oh, that's a really trippy shirt. That's a really cool pants. What that jacket is crazy. It's awesome. That jacket is fly." But it's people. Not everyone has true style. Not everyone is stylish. Some people are fashionable, and there's a difference. Some people are fashionable, but some people are not stylish. They're not mutually exclusive. So in New York, you see a lot of fashionable people, like some people wearing trash bags that are from Balenciaga, or wearing crazy pants, or wearing some crazy quilted jacket. There's some really cool styles out there, but they're fashionable. But I wouldn't call them stylish. So I am right now trying to figure out how to be stylish, elegant. Also, I'm trying to find out how to be elegant. I don't want to just be bright and colorful all the time. Sarek says it's called fashion. Fashion is different from style. Different. Style is timeless. Fashion is being up to date. You can be fashionable, but you are not necessarily stylish. You can be stylish and not necessarily fashionable as well. Roy says you're always stylish. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love the direction you're going with your fashion, says Laureen. Oh, thank you so much for Laureen. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I've been a little bit kind of lost right now in terms of finding a better style. And yeah, it's growing pains. But I'm happy to hear that. Inspire Life says you're a role model on many levels. Oh, I'm so glad. That's so awesome to hear, Inspire Life. Thank you so much. Check out Inspire Live's YouTube channel. He does live drawing watercolors, which is awesome. Highly recommend it. His watercolors are beautiful. He has great, great, beautiful works as well. Spilled some beer on me. Hey, Dr. Tachi, nice to see you here. Hello, Mater. The face of GQ. Hey. I feel like your style's more mature. Yeah, I'm trying to get more mature. I think one trap a lot of people get into nowadays, ever since the 1960s, I'm actually doing a lot of research on fashion. So there might be another fashion documentary that'll come out at some point, more focused on menswear. But ever since the late 1960s or so, there has been a big emphasis on looking young. It used to be quite the opposite. Prior to the late 60s, I wasn't born in that era, so I didn't live it personally from what I studied. Prior to the late 60s, people wanted to look more mature, more elegant, more distinguished, more older. But after the late 1960s, there's been a heavy emphasis on looking young. And you notice this with a lot of people nowadays. A lot of people are kind of stuck in the fashion that they used in their early 20s. And I realize it's a it shows a nostalgia for the past. To me, it feels like you're stuck in the past when you dress the same way you did in your early 20s when you are beyond your 20s. Not meaning that you have to dress stuffy and formal and whatnot, but it's good to evolve and not get stuck. Whatever way you want to evolve, you can evolve any way you want to, but it's good to evolve, I think, because life goes on. There's new careers, new career moves people do, new friends you meet, new relationships, new cities you visit. It's good to evolve and go with the flow, not just in the things you do, but who you are and how you dress. That's my thought process behind it. Quality over quantity, says Roy. Yeah. Do you think it's better to have many okay viewers or fewer quality viewers? Yeah, Inspire Life. That's a great question. It is possible to have a small audience and do really well in the realm of YouTube or social media or entertainment overall as a filmmaker too, or basically any type of art. It is possible. There's a great theory says if you have 1,000 true fans, you can basically live off any type of art. That was a theory by the former executive editor of Wired back in the 1990s. I forgot his name. But there's a great article. Search 1,000 true fans. And he purports that if you have 1,000 true fans, meaning people who will stick with you thick through thin, by all means, like I can do YouTube, I can do Instagram, I can do shorts, I can do vlogs, I can do lives, I can go take photos, I can make an album. People will do those things, consume that type of art or the type of entertainment that you're doing. Those are true fans. And I have a few great true fans out there. I have true fans that still are from the Tumblr days as well. That was before video, when I used to blog. So if you have 1,000 of those true fans, I don't think I quite have those 1,000 true fans yet, but you can fully live off your art. So, yeah, it's possible to have a very small, highly engaged audience and make a living and live a comfortable life. I want to make videos where I get you more access to places. I want to show you cool things behind the scenes. That requires either two things. It requires better social connections, or it requires a bigger audience. And sometimes a bit of both. So yeah, a bigger audience in my case, where I want to show you a cool museum or a super expensive apartment or a townhouse or a house museum or some vintage train ride, things like that. A bigger audience does pay off. John says we are old. Yeah, I do have some very elderly viewers as well, which is always awesome to hear. Do you think staying humble can be tricky in some circumstances? Almo, I think Muhammad Ali said it best. It's hard to be humble if you're this good. I might be rephrasing his quote, but yeah, that's basically what he said. It's hard to be humble when you're this good. I think he meant that in a few layers. I think he meant that as I think he meant that more of like it's hard to get at to what he meant, but I think he got to something very interesting. Uh, I think Muhammad Ali said that in essence, that quote is trying to say that be confident in what you do best. If you're good at something, you're good at something. There's not much need for humbleness if you know you're good at something. Um, I think the best example that I always give, usually on my, oh, okay, Roy, thank you so much for the exact quote. Roy just left the exact quote. He said, "It's hard to be humble when you're as great as I am." It's a pilot. An example I give often is a pilot. You're taking a flight that goes overseas. It might be cloudy conditions. Would you want a pilot that is humble? Would you want a pilot to get onto the speakerphone and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, people of all genders, it is a cloudy day. There might be some turbulence. I'm still becoming a better pilot. I'm not the best pilot yet. We'll do our best in getting through this storm. Buckle up your seatbelts. Hopefully, we'll get there." Imagine if a pilot told you that. You'll be really. Let me know in the comments right now. What if a pilot said it was that honest, was that straightforward, was that humble over the speakerphone? How would you react? Oh my God says, "I can't pinpoint your accent. I'm Puerto Rican, raised in New York." John says uncertain. Yeah, uncertain. I would feel a little bit nervous. I would feel a bit nervous. So it pays off to be confident and to drive the plane, to pilot the plane with the utmost confidence. There's no time for humbleness when you have to take people across a sea on a plane through a storm. You have to be confident. I think the same thing with entertainment. Same thing with most realms of life. If it's your profession, if you're being paid to do something, then do it with the utmost confidence. Be that pilot. So, humbleness is important in many aspects of life, but if it's your job and you're being paid to do it, and people are counting on you for whatever reason, for me at least, people are counting on me for entertainment and information, I'm going to give them the best job possible. So, is it harder to be humble as you grow? Yeah, you can get into the trap of glamour, and you have to be very, very, very careful with that. If you are in the realm of entertainment, you can get easily seduced by glamour. I actually have an entire book on that here in my bookcase. But yeah, there you can be seduced by glamour. So glamour means fame, people loving what you're doing, people praising you, people liking you, people finding you attractive. That's glamour. You gotta watch out with glamour. Don't get seduced by glamour. Um, Keep it humble. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to have an audience. It's a privilege to have a talent. It's a privilege to have the ability to make some type of art or some type of entertainment. It's a privilege. It's a privilege that can be taken away. It's a privilege that can disappear. It's a privilege that will disappear at some point. It's a privilege where you no longer will be privileged. Not all entertainers are entertaining for the rest of their lives. Some of them come to an impasse. Some of them can't get movies produced anymore. In terms of YouTube, some YouTubers, they're just not on trend. The algorithm no longer cares about their type of video. The app dies off. So it is a privilege. Take advantage of that privilege, enjoy that privilege, care it, and do the best good with it as you have it. That's what's important. Ron says, rip Kanye. Yes. Good example of someone losing that privilege. Yes. Misusing that privilege too. When you win the Oscar, will you still be humble? Hey, if I'm directing a film and I have investors, studio spending millions of dollars on a movie, and I have a huge crew of 100, 200, 1,000 people, people's livelihoods depending on the film I make, actors and their careers depending on the film I make, and I win an Oscar for Best Picture, you bet I will be damn proud and honored and excited to have that Oscar. Oh, yes. And I would use it. It would be a privilege to use it to make an even better movie after that, and to provide even better jobs and to inspire people some way or another, either through the actual directing, the actual work, or through the movie, or both. So hell yes. No time for humbleness with winning an Oscar. It's time to do some good work. I think that's important. Also to enjoy life. I think that's even more important than people get too caught up in my realm. I think of entertainment, YouTube, TikTok, whatnot. People get too caught up in worrying about staying humble, worrying about being real, worrying about being authentic, worrying about getting gassed up. Chill out. Enjoy life. It's you are in the ride. You are by no means even the creator of what you do. I by no means am a solo creator. Even the geniuses of our world had people who helped them. Beethoven had someone who tuned his piano, who built his piano. Steve Jobs had engineers. Jeff Bezos has millions of workers. The greatest leaders, Alexander the Great had an army. We have people who help us. I have YouTube, engineers, people making this platform exist. We are never in it alone. I think that's true humbleness, is to realize you're not in it alone. You're here working with other people. You are not some great genius. You're not some great power. You are not some person bestowed upon or blessed. You're blessed in many respects, of course, but you're not all special being. You are simply a cog in the machine, doing your best, grinding your gears, working with others. I hope that helps. Are you into classical music, Ethan? Yeah, Ethan. I mostly listen to classical music most of the time. I love Mozart, Beethoven right now. I'm into a guy called Duder. He's amazing. Duder is amazing. I usually fall asleep to his music. I love classical music. Clint Mansell, Max Richter for the newer guys. Yeah. Liv, nice to see you here. I like to please land the plane immediately. This is Dr. Tachi. I got you, Dr. Tachi. You gotta be confident in your own abilities. Be humble enough to show that you're human. Serving others is beneficial, says Jordan. Yeah, I can totally see you taking your skills and confidence to the next level, directing a feature film. Yes, I would love to do that. It would be an honor if I had that honor. That would be great. I had to call a pilot over the loudspeaker once. Says Christina. He came and said, "Joey, yeah, it's okay to be proud of yourself," says Christina. Oh, cool. If you're confident but not cocky, that's being humble. Right, that's right. Cocky is pride. Don't be prideful. It's okay. We all go through that. If you experience that, it's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. But pride is not good. Pride won't help you. Do things with love. Felicidades. Gracias, Trisha. Is this much deserved spike in subscribers bringing opportunities to collaborate with other content creators? Maybe not with other content creators, but with brands, yes. Check out my recent video with Discotheque. It's a great app for finding out about nightlife and concerts in New York City and other cities like Vegas and LA. Check them out. They sponsored the video recently, which is awesome. I have another sponsor coming out, which is very interesting. I've gotten more people to more customers for the guide, which is awesome. And then I got access to these apartment buildings, which were really cool. Because it wasn't just about the apartments. I really wanted to show you apartments because people have been asking about apartments. And people are curious about these super high-end apartments. But also beyond the apartments, some of these are built in historic places. So it was cool to also show the history behind those places, like the Red Room at One Wall Street and the Brooklyn Dime Savings Bank. That I think is awesome. So check it out. And I wouldn't have had that if I didn't have the audience. I tried. Trust me, I tried. I tried about 3 years ago, 2019. I was trying to get access into these really cool apartment buildings, historic apartment buildings. No one reached back. I got two straight denials. People like one real estater says, "Oh, I don't think you're the right fit." And this wasn't a paid gig. I just wanted to show an apartment for free. And they were like, "Oh, you're not the right fit." And then the other one said along the lines of, "Oh, he's not right. He's not right for our customers. Our customers wouldn't want someone like him." So they didn't like my look. They didn't like my style, my way of making videos. So I got rejected outright twice. So yeah, numbers do open doors. They do. But also connections and goodwill opens doors. But I didn't have connections with the real estate world, so the numbers did help. Tactical says try again. Well, I've been successful. So shout out to David. Everyone, round of hearts to David Prepera for being one of the first people to get me access to some cool places. And soon I'll be working with another real estate agent. So stay tuned for that. You should do short videos in LA, says AK. AK, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I do want to go to LA, at least for a week. Will you ever consider selling your own product in the vein of Logan Paul? Yes, Jordan, yeah. Great question. I would love to sell. Yeah, I would love to start products. I would love to do an Urbanist guidebook, uh, a physical book that's limited edition. It's only released maybe like once a year, and it's not really a practical guidebook, but more so a timeless guide to a city, to the emotions of the city. Kind of a deeper look, a more philosophical look into a city, with essays written by different people, illustrations, um, really interesting maps that are illustrated, cool photography, not just my own, but other people's photography that's more artistic. I want to do that. So similar to Kinfolk or Serial, those type of magazines. I want to do that at some point. I would love to open up a urbanist cafe, but very few of them, maybe one or two per city, and make the urbanist cafe a truly touristic experience. I want to. I like the idea that was the case with Hard Rock Cafe and Planet Hollywood, but I think they got too commercial. Their quality of food is not that good, and they grew too quickly. But I like the idea. It's nice to have this kind of common touristy experience in each city. But if I were to do, I want to do my own version and a better version of what the Hard Rock attempted to do. I want to give you an urbanist cafe in a few great cities, but each urbanist cafe truly does pay tribute in not just the coffee and pastry options or the merch available, but also in the design of the shop. All that pays tribute to the local culture. So if it's London, I would have a shop that looks a little bit more like a pub, has local pastries, local coffee roasters. I would love merch that is only available in person that you can um, that you can only find in person. Very high quality shirts made by local makers, local artists making the actual shirt designs with Urbanist. And something that's really comfortable and something that you go into it and it's truly an experience. I would love to make that type of cafe at some point in my life. And then beyond that, I would love to coffee. I would love to make a urbanist coffee brand. Yeah. I think beyond that, I just want to make movies. Would your urbanist cafe be more like a salon with an emphasis on local conversations and insights about local culture? Jim, you close. I still want to make it touristy. Yeah, I still want to make it touristy. I want to make it a touristic experience. My emphasis is not so much about hang out for locals. Those places are amazing. It's better for the locals to do their cafes that way. I want to make something that's a tourist destination for people in each city, like the Starbucks roasteries, but with really high quality coffee, pastries, local pastries, postcards as well, like really things made with great care. I think the best example is the Starbucks roastery. I think is one of the better examples, but even that is almost way too commercial for something that I'm aiming for. There really isn't that much anything made after it. It'll be something pretty new. Yeah, there's not that many good examples out there, but I would say the best example is like going to a good clothing store. You know, if you go to Drake's in London, it's cool. You know, it's nice to touch the clothes made in England, to get that very personal experience. Or Paul Smith store in London, or Paul Smith here in New York. When you go to these high-end clothing shops, or they're not super high-end, but they're high-end. Go to these nice clothing shops. They all have their unique flavor. They're all very beautifully set designed, and they feel like very nice places to visit. So I would do that, but the cafe version. Cold brew coffee, says Bruce. Oh, yes. Cold brew coffee will be available. We must keep the Urbanist Cafe in the front of my mind. You know, I have a vision board. I already envisioned it. I have a friend who's an architect who told me, he's like, hey man, I'll design it for you. So maybe you'll see that in some near future. Mona says you never replied to my DM. Hey Mona, thank you so much for tuning in. It was such a pleasure meeting you at the premiere. Sometimes I get a lot of DMs, so I'm not able to respond to every one of them. But I'm always happy to say hi to people in person and meeting people. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for saying hello and meeting me. And I do tend to disconnect from my social media after I make my videos. So I've never been quite a chatter outside of making a video or being there with someone in person having a coffee. Yeah, so I'm not too much of an online chatter unlike other YouTubers out there. So yeah, I might not respond to every comment or respond to every message, but I do appreciate them. Thank you so much, people, everyone, for leaving me messages, sending me cool tips and tricks. Sometimes even giving offering me some interesting opportunities. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Sending compliments. I appreciate that. I think in life it's very important to have boundaries. And it's okay to be, a lot of people try to guilt content creators for saying, oh, you're not responding to your audience, you're not commenting. Um, you gotta have boundaries, I think. I think the way I'm able to fully be with all of you on live video is by disconnecting after it. That's how I'm able to do it. Not everyone's going to be the same. So I hope you do understand. Otherwise, there's a lot of other great YouTubers out there that are a lot more interactive outside their videos. Catherine says, okay, foam mustache coming over with the beer. I got a little bit more. I'll stick around for about 10 minutes. I'm very hungry, so I got to eat some dinner soon. But thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. Mona says, I'm glad you understand. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But one thing I would love to do in Urbanist as I'm growing, and hopefully we'll have a bigger budget. Right now, my budget hasn't increased because shorts, there's barely any money to be made off shorts right now, but hopefully that'll change. But in the moment when my budget does increase, I would love to have a community manager. I used to work as a community manager back when I was in tech and in media, between 2014 to about 2000 and 2016. So for a few years, a little bit longer than that, 2013. So a little bit longer than 3 years, I was a community manager. And I saw the value of having a dedicated person who answers comments, questions, messages. I love that. And there's some people who are really good at that. So let me know if you would like to see that eventually in Urbanist. There's people who ask great questions, and I really appreciate people asking questions. I can't answer all the questions, or to be honest, as I mentioned, I have boundaries, so I want to disconnect afterwards. But there's some great questions out there. I wish I could answer all of them. But let me know if you want in the future see a community manager, someone awesome, someone you will meet on a few videos that is responding more on the ground with many of you who tune in. I want to do that. So if you are that type of person, if you are a professional community manager, do let me know. Susie says, that sounds a little impersonal. Well, Urbanist, I want to make it beyond myself. So I don't just want Urbanist to be just me. So it would be someone who you'll get to know. It might sound impersonal, but I think it is a nice thing to have. Dr. Techi says, the beard is bearding. Yeah. And Susie, yeah, Susie, it is the nature of entertainment. It's not always going to feel as super personal. Yeah, I think for people tuning in right now, enjoy the moment on hand. We'd love to see another collab with you and Dutch Moss, says Trisha. Yeah, yeah, that would be amazing. Enjoy the moment on hand. Um, because things will never be stagnant for long. There's always a opportunity to grow and to evolve and to try new things. And there might be ebbs and flows in how a show feels. I'm talking about show and talking about in terms of entertainment. There's always a difference of how things feel. You know, some directors in the movie world do some artsy films and then they move on to big films. And then they get a taste of those big films that are a little bit commercial and very predictable, and then they go back to artsy films. It's the nature of life. And in YouTube, some YouTubers start small, have a very tight knit community, they explode, and it's no longer the same as it used to be. Think about Emma Chamberlain. She exploded so quickly, so fast that her videos are different. They're different. It's not really a tight knit community anymore with her videos. She's a big name. She's almost mainstream. So things change, but I like live video, and there's always an opportunity to find a way to maintain that kind of personal touch. But that personal touch might ebb and flow, might evolve as an audience grows or opportunities grow or change. Yeah, yeah, because I know a lot of people like um, things to be nice, tight knit. You know, that was the case in Facebook for the first like 4 or 5 years or so. 5 years, Facebook was pretty tight knit. It was pretty much the same audience for 5 years. But things change, and I think it's okay. It's okay if things change. Susie says, "I like the things the way they are. I selfishly declare." That's okay. That's okay. Um, I met with your content. Keep posting more shorts on YouTube, says JB. Yeah, yeah, yeah. More shorts on YouTube are coming up. Check out my latest one. If you want a good app about nightlife, check it out. That app was sponsored, so leave a comment. It would be so appreciative on me as well. Jason says your videos are entertaining. Oh, thank you so much, Jason. Yo, shout outs for Wendy M and Ron. Yeah, we have Wendy M and Ron, also two longtime viewers. In my opinion, Urbanist is a brand. Right now, the brand is just Ariel, but eventually it'll be about Ariel the way Ariel does things. It's a philosophy, a style. Yeah, Urbanist from day one, I've wanted to make it bigger than me. And it's nice to, for example, feature Giovanna on camera for a few of the videos. I think that's awesome. I really do enjoy that. But you can always follow me on my personal account if you want to see more of my personal stuff. And then TikTok is still named that for me. So TikTok, I might still keep doing stuff that's only for me. Jordan says, you went from 100K to 200K pretty damn quick. I did, yes. Yeah, shorts is all the rage right now. It's the right place, right time. And I've been saying this for, if you've been watching me on Facebook for a while, you've probably heard me say this. You probably heard me say this before. I said that growth might be slow, but I'm going to be in the right place, right time, where something happens and the audience grows or some big opportunity comes. I've said this in my own show. People have told me this also before. Professionals have told me this before. Shout out to Margaret, who told me this as well, who's a producer for BBC and many other shows. Yeah, right place, right time. If you're an entertainer, continue honing down your craft, because it's hard to predict what the right place, right time is. It's hard to predict what the right place, right time will be, what it is, what it will entail, it will be hard. Uh, because it's a sudden wave that comes out of nowhere. And by all means, my wave is small compared to some other people's waves. You know, going from 60K to 200K, relatively small to the rate wave that Emma Chamberlain encountered, or a Logan Paul, or in the world of Hollywood, like a Leonardo DiCaprio in the late 90s, or Timothy Chalamet 2 years ago. My wave is tiny compared to those waves, but a wave will come if you're an artist that's good at what you do. You might miss the wave. So if the wave comes, ride it. It's your choice ultimately, but ride it if you want to. If you want to have success, if you want to have more opportunities, ride that wave. Because I've covered many artists in history, some of them did not ride that wave. Vincent van Gogh. He had opportunity coming to him. His brother offered to sell his paintings. He did not decide to do that. He had run-ins with some famous artists. He messed those up. Caravaggio. Caravaggio had one of the highest paying patrons in the European world with the Pope. He messed it up by killing a man. That's a more extreme example, of course. But he messed up. He did not ride that wave. So ride that wave if you're an artist, YouTuber, entertainer, Instagrammer, TikToker, whatever you're doing. You could even be an engineer, gardener. Some wave will come. Helen says, without likes and shares, you lose your audience. Yeah, I mean, the algorithm changes, so anything can happen. That's why it's important to be grounded to the moment right now. Let's breathe in. Let's take in this moment right now. Because just like a wave could come and give you a lot of cool opportunities, the tide could pull away and leave you dry at any moment. At any moment. At any moment, there could be a massive change with the algorithm, and my videos are no longer relevant. They're no longer pushed. I might need to change platforms. Otherwise, I wouldn't have to figure it out. That happened to me 2 times before. I was a Tumblr blogger for 6 years, and one night, Tumblr decided to ban me for music copyright because I was a music blogger. They banned me for copyright and deleted my blog. 6 years of daily writings, gone. In an instant. Happened to me a second time, Facebook Live. I had huge success those first half a year. So from September 2016 to about May 2017. Massive success. Tens of thousands of views per video. And then suddenly Facebook says, my video is not really that important. Stagnation. Stagnation for nearly 5 years. My audience did not grow. It happens. It happens. A few people are saying sorry. Wendy says sorry, it's terrible. You know, yeah, it can be very terrible at the moment, but that's life. That life keeps you humble. People have been asking about the humble question before. Life keeps you humble. That's why if you're riding a good wave, a surfer cannot, for one instant, if a huge wave comes, a surfer for not one instant can doubt himself or herself or themselves. Not for one instant, because if a surfer doubts just for a single instant, they can crash. Or worse, they can be consumed by the wave and die. One instant of doubt. When the wave comes, ride it with the utmost confidence. Do the best you can. And then when it dries out, do the best you can as well. That's important, I think. Helen says life keeps you grounded. It does, yeah. Life keeps you grounded. Yeah, it does. If you ask something, feel free to ask one more time. If you could have a dinner with a famous person, who would it be? And who would one who passed on? Oh, that's a great question. There's a few people I would have dinner with right now. I would say my number one is James Cameron. Probably be it will be my number one person I would have dinner with who's living. I would say the person who would be dead that I would have dinner with. It would be Lao Tzu. I would love to have dinner with Lao Tzu, who was the famous writer of the Tao Te Ching of Taoism. Yeah, I would have dinner with Lao Tzu for a dead person. But if I were to choose someone who more people know, Wendy says, I'm dead. Can you have dinner with me? Wendy, wow, you probably are my first zombie follower then. If I were to choose someone a little bit more relevant that people know, who would I have dinner with? Steve Jobs would be very interesting. He would be very interesting to meet. But a second person I would have dinner with who's alive is Greg Braden. A lot of people don't know him. He's somewhat popular. He has like 500,000 followers on YouTube or 600,000 now, or I think even higher. He might be at 800,000. And then he has like 1 million something on Facebook. So he is famous, and I think he has almost 1 million on Instagram. So Greg Braden I would have dinner with in a heartbeat. I want to work with him. It would be so cool. I would be so honored. On TikTok, the shorter videos are more likely to get viewers that will watch them to the end, says Jade. Yes. Yeah, that's the tricky thing with live video. Here in the West, live video is not really seen that highly here in the West. That's why live video has been hard to grow on its own. And, I'm doing this as a job too. It's not just a hobby. So I require creative ways to increase my audience. It's good business. So it's the business of entertainment. Some people might be shocked to hear that. Yes, what I do is a business. If you are a YouTuber or an Instagrammer, get very clear about that. Make sure you're either doing this as a business or you're doing this as a hobby. When you start muddling in the middle, things get very tricky. They get very tricky. The reason for that is that it's better to go either or. So be very clear. You're doing this for art or you're doing this for business. Be very clear. So yeah. I forgot the question that was asked. Hey, hang on the big chain and wear around your neck. Like Flavor Flav says, Catherine, wear this, just rock it. Your food videos are awesome, says Helen. Oh, I'm glad. Huge shout out to Giovanna G for short. She's great at editing and filming these food videos. So thank you so much for joining me on those. And then before, when I started live video, I had Jennifer O'Brien, really cool content creator, join me for my early food live videos. Roy says Giovanna is doing a great job. Yeah, that's awesome to hear. I agree. What's the biggest difference between hobbies and business? Hobby is a hobby. That means it's a side thing. It's something you do for fun. It usually is not involving the exchange of money or any type of business venture. That's a hobby. A hobby can turn into a business, but if it's a hobby, you're doing it for just sheer pleasure, and it tends to be a side thing. A business, you are making money. You are making a business. So Roy said it really good. He says, hobbies cost money. Businesses make money. Yeah, in essence. Yeah. That's a great way of putting it. Great. Shout out to Roy for saying this so succinctly. I hope everyone had a great day. Yeah. What's your thoughts on YouTube versus Twitch versus TikTok? So Twitch, my audience is tiny on Twitch. So thank you so much for the few Twitchers who follow me. I think I crossed like 400 followers on Twitch. Yeah, I will do a celebration as big as this once I cross 500 followers on Twitch. No, not 500,000, 500. Then it's gonna be a big celebration. Twitch, I barely have followers, but if I were to compare Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, TikTok is short videos. I really don't do that many live videos on TikTok. And live videos are ephemeral, so TikTok is not really that interesting for the community knowing each other. So TikTok is good for just reaching a lot of people in your local area specifically. TikTok is great for connecting with locals. Because the cool thing is when I post on TikTok here in New York, it shows my videos to New Yorkers. If I post my TikToks in London, it shows it to Londoners and then English and then UKers. Or Scotland, it shows it to Scots. In France, it shows it to the French. That's really cool because it made me realize that in order to do a good job on TikTok, in order to provide the best entertainment, I would have to entertain the locals. So I don't make travel content necessarily to entertain travelers on TikTok. I make travel content to entertain the locals. So I am the one immersing myself in Scottish culture, in English culture, in French culture, in Italian culture, or teaching them about the history they may not know about, but will entertain them. So I think that's the interesting thing about TikTok. The interesting thing about Facebook is the audience there is older. And since it's older, there's a bit more substance with the conversations, with the comments, and the good followers, the people who are the viewers who are kind, who are nice, who are good intention, tend to be really good, loyal viewers that tune in for a long time. So that's awesome about Facebook. But the downside of Facebook is that it can get very ugly quickly. More uglier than even YouTube if a video gets to the wrong people. Same thing with TikTok. And then YouTube, the great thing is overall, almost everyone's awesome and nice. YouTube, I attract a wide audience, but YouTube, I attract a wide audience, but the YouTube people are tuning in. The best audience on YouTube is the people tuning in for the long form content, or for people who want to see the live videos, and also for it attracts a lot of people in the age range between 24 and about 38 years old, which is cool. It's interesting that I attract a specific audience on YouTube, a younger audience on YouTube. I attract an older audience on Facebook. And I like that kind of putting my eggs in multiple baskets. It's nice. So YouTube is awesome. YouTube has like Facebook, has a very tight-knit community, especially on the live videos. Dr. Chachi says, that's an interesting point to understand. So if you're not interested in making things for locals, maybe TikTok is not the place for you. No, it isn't. To be a successful, I think to be a successful travel vlogger on TikTok, you have to do either two things. You have to be making content for the locals, entertaining the locals as you're traveling, or covering places that are very exotic from an American standpoint or a Western European standpoint, permitting you're from those two areas. I know some people don't like the term exotic. Remember, I'm talking about our perspective, my perspective. To some people in the middle of the South Pacific, New York is exotic. So from my perspective, if I cover places that are exotic, yeah, TikTok would be good, or I entertain the locals. YouTube is better for general travel content. So, for example, my videos about Lyon, France on TikTok did not get that many views. People did not care about Lyon. There was only one video that did well in Lyon. It was the super steep train station. But most people did not care about Lyon in France. Lyon is interesting, but people didn't care about them. So I posted those videos. Also, the French Alps. They weren't doing so well on TikTok either. So I posted those short videos on YouTube, and they did really well because people like general travel content on YouTube that they don't on TikTok, especially of places that are not exotic, quote unquote, from our perspective. Jordan says, I want you to comment on this. Tim Ferriss, the author of 4 Hour Work Week. Oh, Jordan, I'm glad you're reading that. That's an awesome book. That inspired me to go on my own and do my YouTube channel. He says that the prerequisite for success is not self-love. It is a must. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, you do have to, you have to love who you are, I think, to be successful. I think self-hating might get you somewhere, but it won't get you far, and it won't make you happy once you get there. That's why some celebrities are famous. They won Oscars, but they still didn't love themselves. And they ended their lives too early. It happened with one of our greatest TV show hosts of all history, I think. Anthony Bourdain. It's very sad. It's very sad what happened. I think it's important to first love yourself. Fame, attention, money, success is never going to fix that. Those won't make you love yourself, who you are. Those won't make you feel comfortable in your own skin. No one else outside of you is going to make you feel good. No one. That's a hard truth. It's the hard truth. People might cheer you up. People might make you feel warm. People might make you feel nice. But only you can love you, truly, in the most deepest of levels. And in order to feel love from other people in a very real, visceral way, I think it's important to love yourself first and foremost. That's the only way you can feel true love from others, is to love yourself first. If you don't love yourself first, whatever love anyone's giving you isn't going to be enough. Never will be. Catherine says, Ariel looks great with classical pieces of clothing. Yeah. Some people can't stop what goes on in their mind, says Christina. Yeah, fortunately, yeah. Are you going to the parade tomorrow? No, I'm spending time with family. Marianne says, I'm glad I discovered you through Corey Fry's video. Oh, Marianne, that's so cool to hear. Yeah, of course, you tuned in through Corey Fry. I'm so glad you were a fan of Paris, but I'm so glad I was able to show you other parts aside from Paris. That's awesome to hear. What's a typical day in the life of Ariel? I wake up, I edit a short video because I'm re-editing a lot of my older videos to post on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And I post. I answer emails. I research. I'm always researching because I just love history in general. So I'm always like reading about random things, listening to podcasts. Right now, I'm listening to a lot of podcasts about menswear and menswear history. And yeah, I might not have content on that specifically, but lo and behold, it will help out with some videos I do in the future. It already has somewhat, because I learn a lot of general history by learning about weird specific history. And then beyond that, I maybe make a live video if it's that day in the week that I'm scheduled to do a live video, and more editing, more watching and reading random video history, and then I like learning about culture. I like learning about urbanism, architecture, so I learned a lot about that. Um, and then also on occasion I see movies, but the movies I usually make out a time to see is Marvel films. That's when I really go out to the theater. Do you content plan? No, S Fields, I don't content plan. I post randomly. If you've been following me on Instagram, uh, Caddy says, do I major in history? No, I have a degree in electrical engineering. I did not major in history. I all the history I talk about in my videos is my own research. I research on my own. All the history I've learned, all the history talk about in my live videos, they're all from my own research. So, content plan. No, if you follow me on Instagram or YouTube Shorts, you'll probably notice one day some people have been making a joke saying, I swear this man teleports because one day I post about France, the other day I post about Greece, the next day I post about New York, the other day I post about London, and then I'm posting random. I'm just going with the flow. I'm posting whatever feels right to me. I think that's important. Hey Morgan, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're doing well, Morgan. Morgan says, yes, electrical engineering rocks. What's the best neighborhood in New York City? So if you want to see my full guide in New York City, you can download it. Right now, go to urbanist.live/guide. If you want it in the physical format, then you can bring it with anywhere with you. Everything in this guide is on my live videos. But then it'll be up to you to search through my live videos and find those answers. Otherwise, you can always ask me while I'm live. And I'll do my best to answer. So the best neighborhoods to visit right now in New York, aside from Midtown Manhattan and Downtown Manhattan, where there's a lot of touristy things, aside from those, I recommend Greenwich Village. I would recommend just walking the entire village from West Village, Greenwich Village, and East Village. All of that area is fun. Make an entire day of walking that area. Outside of Manhattan, I would recommend going to Williamsburg, Brooklyn, especially on a weekend, on a Friday night, or during Saturday or Sunday. In Queens, I recommend also walking through Flushing Main Street, the largest Chinatown in New York City. Jordan says, you look incredible in the thumbnail. Oh, thank you so much, Jordan. I appreciate that. Let's see. I would love to pick your brain on romance and love. That's why I used to write a lot on my Tumblr. This is awesome. This is awesome chat. Self-love is the most important, says Ben. Oh, yeah. Much love for anyone going through mental struggles right now. Yes, my heart goes out to you. I hope you do feel better. Jade says, I'm going to Japan. Oh, that's awesome, Jade. That's amazing. When the role you desire the most is yourself, says Morgan. Yeah. My summer was so enjoyable that I went along with you on your journey, says Marianne. Oh, that's so cool to hear. You're so happy and merry, says Morgan. When you wanted to know a lot about someone, I'm here. Hey, Morgan, I'm so glad I could cheer you up and give you some good entertainment. Are you ever going to go to the Meet Me app for streaming? No, no, I don't think so. Not in the near future. I'd rather stick to the big platforms for streaming. Please tell about the pendant. So I have a compass. Compass. I bought this in Ez in the south of France. Ez is that mountain town that I covered. Beautiful views nearby Nice. Yeah, I bought that on a whim right before that live video. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, it's a compass. It's a compass because I consider myself an explorer. Lorraine says, Ariel, my life has been better with you and your videos in it. Also, meeting your viewers through the chats has been so awesome and fun. Lorraine, that's so awesome to hear. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And now with a bigger audience, hopefully with a bigger budget, I'll be able to show people the beauty of Hawaii. I am still very eager to go. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so glad. Sicarius says, I'm applying to NYU. Any tips for anything about the school? I have friends from NYU, but I never been to NYU, and so I don't know too much about the ins and outs of NYU. I could give you my honest opinion if you want to know what I think about NYU, but I will ask for your consent first. Who was the person who asked this? Sicarius. Sicarius, if you want to know what I really do think about NYU, then do let me know. Then I'll answer you. But to give you more positive advice, I would say if you're writing like an essay, um, be sure to put heart into it. Don't write something. If you're like writing an essay or have to do some project to get in, write it. Make sure you put heart into it. I would say write it first from the heart, and then make it nicer, make it more professional, make it a little bit more presentable. But at first, when you're making the content to get into college, maybe an essay or some type of project or maybe a short film, I'm not sure what you have to do. Um, make it from the heart. This also applies to cover letters. Make it from the heart. But since Sakara says, yeah, I would love to know your opinion on it. I would say consider not spending that much money in college. It could be a wonderful opportunity to meet very interesting people. But in my opinion, college isn't really that worth the immense expense that NYU is offering. So I would consider going to a college where you don't need to spend that much money because I bet that you'll enjoy the financial freedom that you'll have after graduating. I graduated luckily with only $2,000 in debt because my college was very inexpensive. I went to the City College of New York. And I paid off that debt very quickly. It was only 2000. I feel good. I feel very at ease. I have friends who graduated from NYU, from other expensive schools, and they're stressed out for trying to pay those bills. That's my opinion. That's the way I see it. Um, but if you truly feel passionate about it, then follow your heart. But listen to your heart. I would say beyond that, I would say in the more neutral. I'm not talking about opinion. This is advice. Listen to your heart. Really. Don't listen to your parents. Your parents are probably very kind people with very good wisdom. Maybe some parents definitely. Um, maybe some teachers, maybe some counselors, maybe some friends, maybe some older siblings have great wisdom. But your heart is the most important thing. Get down and listen to your heart. And the best way of best way to listen to your heart in any matter, including what college to enter, how to enter the college, is by turning off all distractions. Put away your phone, put away the internet, your laptop, turn off your TV, go out somewhere, maybe to the wilderness, or maybe just meditate in your room. Just turn off distractions. Be in silence. A very easy, practical way of doing that is go for a hike or go for a walk in your city. But be in silence. Don't go hang out with friends. Be in silence. Because the heart speaks very softly. Heart, there's many names for it. Intuition, gut instinct, a hunch. There's a lot of words for it. But it's better to listen to your heart. And the heart speaks very subtly, so very softly. So you have to be as silent as possible. And then you'll get that true feeling. And you'll know what to do. If your heart says, go to NYU and apply for it in this way, then do it. And you will find the best opportunities in your life, despite what everyone else might say, despite my personal opinion about NYU. I bet you'll find some great things. But if your heart says otherwise, and you don't listen to your heart, you're going to be in for a struggle. And that's okay. We all go through struggles in our lives. But you will be in for a struggle. You'll be signing up for that. That's okay. You'll get through it if you do sign up for it. But be aware that that will be the case. So listen to your heart. Your heart might not always make sense. My heart told me to quit my 9-to-5 job in 2016 without any savings. It was hard, but ultimately it was the best decision. It did not make sense. It pissed off people who were close to me. It confused friends. But it was the best damn decision in my life. I hope that helps. Where are your glasses from, says Erica. Warby Parker. Warby Parker. Second time I heard going to hike in the past 48 hours, says Jordan. Yeah. What was everyone? Round of hearts to Jordan. Jordan has been asking some excellent questions. Of course, we have a lot of people who ask great questions, but I appreciate Jordan getting pretty deep very quickly. Thank you so much, Jordan. Round of hearts to Jordan. John says all the knowledge in the world is free on the internet. It really is. So, for example, engineering. There was a point in engineering where I barely went to class because I didn't like my teachers. My teachers were frankly not that good from my perspective and from the perspective of most students. So what I did is I went on YouTube. I used Khan Academy to learn differential mathematics. It's a very heady subject, but Khan Academy teaches me way better than my teacher, than my professor. Electrical circuits, I used Oxford's free lectures. Yeah, you can learn a whole lot from YouTube. Jordan, a few other people mentioned Evan Carmichael. Yeah, I've heard of him. I've seen his listicles. They're very awesome. And the other guy is one, Tom Bellew. I've seen a few of his interviews. He's a really inspirational guy. Uh, are you having baked goose tomorrow? No, that'll be interesting. But no, that's more of like an English thing. Baked goose. No, I'm having roast pork. There's a citywide turkey shortage, unfortunately. So I went to Italy, where I usually buy some good turkey, roast turkey, and it was sold out for the past week. There has been no turkey in Italy, which is a great store in New York City. And apparently that is the case in many stores all around New York City. There's a citywide turkey shortage. It's pretty sad. So I'm having roast pork instead. Cynthia says Khan Academy. It was Can, Chan. I think it was spelled CH. No, sorry, Khan. Khan Academy. All right. Are you born in New York City? I was born in Puerto Rico. Came to New York City at 4 months old. Excuse me. Was raised in Jackson Heights, Queens, and lived in New York City my entire life. I've been living in New York City my entire life. I'm a lifelong New Yorker, as opposed to what some commenters out there think. I constantly get accused for being someone from Ohio or something like that, Oklahoma. Not that there's anything wrong from being from those places. It's awesome, but I constantly get accused for being from somewhere not New York and attempting to know New York. People accuse me of trying to pretend that I know New York while being from somewhere else. Well, sorry to disappoint. I am indeed a New Yorker. People don't realize New York is huge. 8 million people. It is a huge, massive population. That's 8 million people alone within the city. It's more than 20 million, 21 million people in the metropolitan area that have quick access to New York via public transportation or car. So 20 million people, that is a lot. We are a huge variety of people. We are not just people from Brooklyn with this type of accent, drinking some coffee. We're not just that type of Italian American Brooklyn or Jewish American Brooklynite. We're not just the old school Manhattanite from the Upper East Side. There's a huge variety of us. People from Jackson Heights, Chinese Americans, from Chinatown, recently immigrated Chinese in the Flushing Main Street area, Indian Americans, the list goes on. Russians, English, French. There's a bunch of French that live in Cobble Hill, for example. Old school New Yorkers from many generations that live in the Upper East Side or Uptown Manhattan. Irish Americans. The list goes on. There's a massive variety of people, and then a large variety of accents too. So we're not just one homogeneous New Yorker. There is no true New Yorker. I think this is a stupid way to gatekeep our city. There is no true New Yorker. We are all from somewhere else, ultimately. Wendy says, "Are you dating?" I don't kiss and tell. People says, "What do they know?" Forget about it. Yeah, forget about it. I think New Yorkers said it best. Yeah, the Italian Americans, New Yorkers said it best. I think they got the idea. Forget about it. If someone tells you something stupid, forget about it. Nicholas, hey Nicholas, thank you so much for tuning in. Nicholas says, "Have you heard of Fresh Kills Park?" I have. That's very interesting. I might cover it at some point. It's attracting a lot of people from the world. Your thoughts? Is it even open? Is Fresh Kills Park open? I thought it was still under construction. do let me know. If it's open, then I'll pay a visit. Cynthia says, I'm a New Yorker. I cannot do the Brooklyn accent. I am from Manhattan. I always try not to have a New York accent. Yeah. I mean, New York accent used to be very different even 100 years ago. Watch old movies from the 30s. That's a very different New York accent from what people stereotypically think today. Hey, Dr. Tachi says part of the issue is that so many professors do not go through enough training to teach in college classrooms. They basically just throw you into a college classroom. I had training though, says Dr. Tachi. Yeah, Dr. Tachi is in academia, so that's awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Tachi. Is a professor. Do remind me of the college again, Dr. Tachi. But Dr. Tachi does media, and that's awesome. Yeah, Dr. Tachi is right. A lot of these teachers, a lot of these professors, they're just thrown into the classroom. And some professors don't. Unfortunately, they don't care about teaching. It's not their calling. It's not what they care about. It's not even what they focus on getting better at. I experienced that firsthand in engineering. It's me says, "Wow, good at math." Yeah, I have a minor in math. That's not about your tutors. Why so crap? Says Almo. It's the way education is built here in America. Unfortunately, teachers are not held in high regard in American culture. As high regard, I think they should be. For example, yeah, teachers are not held in high regard here in America. I think there's a lot of negativity with teachers. There's a terrible saying here that I really don't like. It says, if you can't do, teach, or those who can't do, teach. Terrible saying. It's truly a terrible saying because teaching is truly a gift. If you're good at it, if you're good at educating, it's truly a wonderful, beautiful gift that should be praised and should be adequately paid. But we don't. We underpay our teachers, we overwork them, and then culturally, we don't hold the job in high regard. It's not necessarily disrespected, luckily, but it's not held in high regard. That's the sad thing. I'm inspired by my students. That's why I love teaching. Right? Yeah, inspire life. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, inspire life. That's good to hear. Yeah, there are true teachers out there. You do sound like one of them. That's awesome to hear. Those who teach encourage the next generation. Yeah, they do. It is very important to have great teachers. I've had some great teachers in my life. Hey, Cynthia says, I just listened to the Leo Gorcey podcast from the Bowery Boys. That was a real New York accent back in the day. Oh, I can't wait to listen to that. The Bowery Boys is a great podcast. I really love them. Catherine says, Dr. Tachi has a PhD? Yes, she does. Yes, that's why she's Dr. Tachi. I have a podcast with her. I was on her podcast. Check it out. Search Dr. Tachi Ariel Vieira or Dr. Tachi Urbanist, and you'll find it. Hey, Ben says I'm walking here. All right, everyone. Favorite rapper says Dirt. I'm not so deep into rap, but I really appreciate Kid Cudi specifically, especially his earlier albums. I think they're really, truly artistically wonderful. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. The silver play button. I think I just scratched myself. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate that. This is like the Iron Throne. Make sure not to hug it, otherwise you could get yourself a cut. Thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in. I appreciate that. Silver play button, yes. Jordan says, you strike me as a Nas guy. Nas? No, I don't know too much of Nas, the rapper. But I did like one of his songs when I was younger. But that's awesome. Silver play button. Yes, everyone. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All of you are awesome for tuning in. This is possible because of you, the audience. I would do this, even with the most tiny audience. So I love making videos regardless. But this silver play button, this honor of 100K, the opportunities, the bigger audience brings is because of all of you. So to end this night, give yourselves a round of hearts. Have a happy, wonderful, great Thanksgiving with friends, family, or both, or some good food, or some good entertainment. Hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm definitely going to enjoy it with my family tomorrow. I hope you're having a wonderful time. I'll see you Fridays and Saturdays at 4 p.m. live. And then, of course, you can tune into my short videos. And then you can purchase my guide if you're visiting New York City soon. I'll be updating it with some Christmas tips as well. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Keep being awesome. And always... Wait. We need an epic song. Yeah. Wait. Delay it. Pause. This is why editing is very useful. Have a great day, everyone. Listen to Urbanist on Spotify. Keep being awesome. And always keep on exploring. Have a great day. Stay curious, my friends.